Itaola SoccerBeat lovers is your boy Lebohang Cheezboy Mokoena, the real cheese cheddar, the real mozzarella. Bafethu, yeah, we talking pirates. I'm with the legendary Mark Mayambela, ba re Professor Ntute, ke tshwane le wena. Guys, please, man, please keep on subscribing. We've reached the 50,000 mark. I'm hoping we can get to that 100,000 mark. So please press on to that button, hit that switch. Don't forget to comment. Don't forget to share. And we'll be talking the latest. I've seen Pirates on the move. Pirates is in the market already trying to set themselves for a new season. And I have Mark with me just to discuss some of the players that we've been seeing in the news and those that have signed already, and what are the options that Pirates have. And are these going to be great signings for them? Are these players going to be able to carry from where Pirates is from their past season? So yeah, without wasting any further ado, Mark Mfetu, Pirates have gone into the market. They've went for a couple of players. I think one notably would be Utshepo Mashilwane, the right back from Baroka. I think he has confirmed he has signed long-term deal with the Orlando Pirates. Before I can dwell onto the other players, please guys, stay on for this video so you can hear the upcoming names. So Mark Mfita khuluma ngoTshepo Mfethu. He was in the NFD, the boy, solid right back. He can play center back as well. 23 years of age. He's played 29 games. He's played basically the full season for Baroka. He's managed to score 3 goals, something that Paris does not have when it comes to their defenders scoring.
I think it's important for the club also to create some sort of succession plan in terms of the players that are there, and also if, as you mentioned, Uguti is only 23 years old. We still have the boy from Stellenbosch. We still have Utabiso. We still have Ushandu. He comes from the NFD. I'm not assuming Uguti he will be a player that will fit in right away. Maybe he will still need time, which is fine. So that this helps for his succession to say if one of the right backs maybe will move in the next season or in the next 2 seasons, we have someone that is ready to take over in that position as well. I think also the club is working a little bit smarter to think ahead as well. I think it's a great recruitment policy that they're taking because also when you release a player, you have to have a replacement ready to fit into the squad and into that position as well. So he will have time to adjust and have time to understand the culture of the club and the philosophy of the club. And fortunately for him, he will come in with a new coach if it's a new face coming in. So I'm hopeful that he's going to contribute. And also he has some little bit of experience because also he has played a lot of games. This will help him also to adjust as well.
Yeah, no, I think we'll weigh in the Pagania fans, those that do not know the boy, former Baroka player joining Orlando Pirates from the NFD. So please don't forget in the comment sections what your thoughts on the player, and is he gonna be contributing to the team or is just gonna also be a backup? Because I for one, Mark, I was thinking of the boy Undlozi, because if you have Chandu, you have Van Rooyen and Undlozi on that right. I think we're a little bit okay. They wanted Matuludi from Polokwane, of which no avail. But maybe the recruitment team knows what they're doing, and maybe the boy will be there because obviously there's a lot of games coming up. So maybe that's one of the reasons. Maybe they need four on that side, with alternating the players. But yeah, let's move on to the next guy. Mfethu Usihle. Sihle Nduli, bro. I'm 29 years old, former Stellies. I know him from Galaxy, back in my time at Swallows, playing in the NFD. Played a lot of games against him. I've seen him grow as a player. I've seen him get the opportunity to win the net bank with Galaxy up until his move to Stellies. A fantastic midfielder, technically gifted, not the hardest man, and but I think he is one of the players that keeps stability in the team. He keeps shape well. He's got good vision, keeps the ball really well. So What your take on Pirates signing a player like Sihle at the age of 29? Or you also have a Makaula that's, people are saying is getting a little bit older. But man, I don't believe in age. I just feel age is just a number. But that's how the fans feel and the people that support the game that, hey, the Munduna 29, we need to start looking for a replacement. Obviously, we have a Mbata there. You have a Selepe that's also knocking in there. Or is it maybe because we have just released a team and also Ndlondlo also looking like he's also on his way out?
Of course, Chizi, there's many things that we need to look at. I think you have mentioned a lot in that regard. Is one, team is leaving the club, so we need a immediate replacement in that. You mentioned Makaula, and now there are questions that are asked. Uguti, since now the club is going to play a lot of football next season as well, and he has played a lot of football this season, is he gonna be able to withstand the load and withstand the number of games that will come thick and fast? Do we have someone ready that can play in that position? Yes, you mentioned Ulsilep, a top player, he's been doing well, but is he ready also to take over in that midfield position as well? So now you have mentioned Usife, also a player that I followed at TS Galaxy. I remember I called Team Sogazi the other time when they were still in the NFD, and I was asking about these players, and they were so good. It was him and Unyama. He was playing as a left winger back then. He has the experience. He's been at Stellenbosch. He has played the CAF. I think he brings in the CAF experience. He brings in the PSL experience, but also brings in a little bit of calmness in that midfield. Top on the ball, he makes the team plays better. Discipline in position as well, and discipline out of position as well. I think also he can be someone that can help Umbata, and push Umbata into the next level as well. He comes with great experience, and yeah, for me, he's a top player. I think also he's a top replacement to Utim, who has also done well since he has been in the club. You saw how he played and how the effort that he gave to the club as well. Big ups to Miguel. Thank you for your contribution, Yake. And I think also players like Abu Mbata learned, and even players like Abu Silep learned a lot from him.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I think it's only fair enough, to give thanks in faith, because at the end of the day, there was a comment that was said, about the former captain leaving. Was he playing? Was he not playing? But I always say, as a former footballer, Mark, you always have players that are very vital at training, very vital in the change room, very vital around the team spirit, and that was my view, coming into the Mayela situation from one of our loyal fans on SoccerBeat. I'll get his name and pop him up. He knows himself. I've been interacting with him on TikTok. And yeah, let's move on to another player of Orlando Pirates. They signed the 19-year-old Kabelo Khusitsile, left footer. He played against Pirates in the Nedbank Cup. He had a fantastic game. Speedy winger, Mark. I don't know if you know much about him. Of course, any player coming from the NFD, because we hardly watch these games and even attend the games. But word and the video clips that I've seen, very skillful on the ball. Very short, almost similar to Nkota's height. He's got a bit of pace. He's got a bit of skill. It seems like it's gonna be a Monnapule Saleng replacement. At Pirates, there's always a new winger coming in. So do you think Pirates really needed another winger, or maybe they should have polished it maybe a little bit there up front? Because I think if people are looking at what Pirates did the past season, if you look at the weaknesses, yes, there was injuries to Unda, at the back, that a little bit of a blow. There was only alternation up front between Mahopa and Mabasa, and sometimes when they are not firing, it became a bit of a problem, because now you're throwing in the young man Radio Pan into that deep end, trying to find him, make sure that he's still trying to find his feet as well in the first team. You think it's a right decision for them to go for another winger, because you still have a Nkota, you have a Rilo, Monnapule Saleng. We're still gonna talk about that, me and you, Mark, in terms of what will be happening with him. So I'm looking at this as a direct replacement for Saleng.
No, I'm saying it could be cheesy. As much as nothing has been said at the moment regarding that, but also I think we should give credit to the Orlando Pirates recruitment, because when Gota first came, We all had doubts. He's young. He's coming from the TDC. We were not sure what he can do with relay as well. He was young. He was 19, 18 when he first came, but they all took us by surprise. So it means that there are good things that the club are doing. Those that the guys that are doing recruitment in the club, there's something special that they do, and I think we have um, to trust that. And also, when I spoke firstly, we spoke of a succession plan, and maybe this is another succession plan in regards to Monnapule Saleng. And also remember where he comes from, which team he comes from. He comes from the NFD as well, and he came into Pirates and he took us by surprise as well. So I think we need to trust what the club is doing and the direction that they're taking.
No, we have to. We have to trust it, Mark, because I mean, if they have the recruitment team, the team that looks for all these players that we don't know of, I think we can't wait to see what the new players will be bringing for Pirates. Obviously, window's still open. Pirates is probably still going to go into the market. I think the biggest talking point that I was having now with Mark is a matter of the goals up front. I don't think both the strikers, Mahopa and Mabasa, hit that double figures. I think in a team you really need one or two players that can hit the double figures if you really want to challenge for the league. There's players that are still available for Orlando Pirates. And my opinion, I feel like we've gone into a situation where we get uh, uh, players that come as free agents. We get players that come in as free agents. We go to the Vodacom League. We go to the NFD. I haven't seen us as Orlando Pirates or seen the team really break the bank and look for a top quality player, an experienced player. You know, for now, there's talks of Mayele from Pyramids, deadly striker. I think everybody has seen how Mayele has been doing in the Champions League. He's mesmerized both Sundowns and Orlando Pirates. And Pyramids have put their 12 million tag price on his head. And I'm thinking, if I had the budget as Orlando Pirates, I would definitely go for a guy like that, because I think Pirates does need a lethal striker, somebody who's just going to be there to score the goals. Not to say Mabasa and Mahopa were not doing the job, but you need somebody that's going to try and push to hit double figures, Mark. For you to win the league, you need a striker, two strikers that can actually hit the double numbers, But with that being said, Mark, it is what it is. It's South African football. Teams do things the way they would like to do, and before I part ways, because I'm having difficulties with Mark, I'm just gonna wrap it up with a question to the fans. Is it justifiable for London Pirates to go and get players from the NFD and the Vodacom League, or get players as free agents? Does the team have the budget to go and buy the quality players that the team needs? I think that's a question I'm posing to the fans. Something that was never done before at Orlando Pirates, where the team goes out and they buy expensive players. They've never done that. Right now, the past season, it was all about the youngsters, your Nkotas, your Mbokazis, your Ndlozi, your Dancel, all these boys getting an opportunity. And yet we still go in the market, we still go fetch the same age group that we probably still have in the DDC. But obviously, like Mark said, the recruitment plan of the team is something different. For me, if I can highlight five players that I feel Pirates could have signed or should sign, I would look at a Basadin left back. Of course, the other team is in talks with him. But if you want to go that far, and when you compete in all these tournaments, you need the quality of those kind of players. He's already been in the Confed. He's been with the Bafana squad. So I would go for a Basadin. I would go for a centre back, Moloisane from Stellis. I think the boy has really been solid. It's just that most of the games are not televised, but some of us, when we have a chance, we do watch, and I think he's an outstanding centre back that could bring something to Orlando Pirates. And up front, I think that's where Pirates need to get a player like Mayela, break the bank for once. Stolimali mfethu from ukuphuma from the last four of the Champions League. Asithathe silahlelele kuMayele mfethu.
No, what you're saying is true. What you're saying is true, Cheesy. I think also players, as much as the club creates an environment, they bring in the coach, but also you need players. You need players with the right mindset. We need players with an elite mindset. And you have mentioned Opasadin, you have mentioned Umolisan, they have CAF experience, they have PSL experience. You have mentioned Mayele, and he has CAF experience. He just won the Champions League now. For me, these are the players that takes your team to the next level. Even if you go to the global picture of football, when you go to the bigger clubs in Europe as well, even in South America, they go for these players that will bring personality in the team, personality in the field and off the field. Now when there's a certain player in the starting lineup of that team, it brings that element of maybe dignity and fear to our opponents as well, knowing that so and so is in the squad as well. So especially if they want to reach the Champions League final, especially if they want to play the next Club World Cup as well. I think we have to sign one or two, even three, high profile players, but also the right players, not just high profile players for the sake of signing a high profile player, but signing a high profile player that will bring the right personality, the right energy in the team. And sometimes maybe these things, they take time because club needs to maybe track these players. They need to investigate about these players. But for me, these are the players that we need to look at and bring into the club, and so that they can take the club to the next.
It's the money, Mark. The money, my friend. They must open the checkbook. Open the checkbook.
Champions League ifakile imali, so asithathe yona.
Yeah, no, straight, man. Mark Mfethu, I know there's a lot we can talk about, and it's still open, guys. The window's still open. It's always going to be, up and downs, with the transfer sales that will be happening. There's a lot of talks behind closed doors. We shall keep you posted here on SoccerBeat. And, Mark, I actually wanted to ask you a question, but I know this one is going to take a bit longer, man, but I'll save this one for the next episode. I'm going to save you. And if you want to find out what's the question about, please catch us on the next episode of Talking Orlando Pirates. We'll still be breaking down some of the stats of these players, because sometimes when you bring in players, football has changed. People want stats. People want to understand. Can he play the whole season? Can he play a few games? Can he score for us? Those kind of things. So, yeah, on the next one, we're going to try and break down the players that are currently signed, and obviously with the options that we are thinking maybe Pirates could buy. I mean, I raised the hand and said, a police, a police, a police. But yeah, nothing is happening so far. But well, it's not in my hands. But I would have loved a player like a police to join Orlando Pirates since it's Nenki number 14. But well, Mark, we don't have enough time, my guy. I'm going to have to close it, Baba. I'm going to have to close it, my guy. From SoccerBeat Bafetu, it's your boy Lebohang Cheezboy Mokoena, the real cheese cheddar. I'm with the prof. What's it, Bafetu? That's how we do it. We let the beat do the talking. See you on the next one, Bafet. And don't forget, leave your comments. What's your thoughts on the new signings of Orlando Pirates? And which players would you like to see Orlando Pirates sign? From SoccerBeat, and I'm out.